Let's go, boys.
Back in November of 2015,
prestige
when Black
by
Ops
only
3
opening
first
doors,
released,
no
we all
kills.
probably had a similar experience to one another. We all loaded up the game, sat and listened to the amazing menu music for a few minutes, and then began a game of zombies. Whether you were playing Shadows of Evil or the Giant, it didn't really matter. You most likely killed a few zombies on round 1, and then opened up the first door to get out of the spawn room. When you opened that door, a pop-up appeared showing that you gained 250 XP for opening that door. And the first time you saw it, you probably thought, hey, that's pretty cool, but then you never thought about it again, especially because headshotting a zombie gives you 100 experience, and that is so much quicker than just opening doors.
That is way better.
But maybe a few you psychopaths thought, hey, maybe what would happen if I tried leveling up once just by opening doors? But I'm the guy that took it one step further, and 6 years later, I'm going to be prestiging by only opening doors in Black Ops 3 Zombies. This is also just the beginning of a planned much larger series on the channel to try to reach Prestige Master with no kills before Vanguard's release. If you want to see this turned into a series, then let's try and reach 2,500 likes, which I know is a lot for my channel, but you'll see why I need the support to continue this series. I spent 10 days on this video just to get through one Prestige, and I have to go through 11 more in the next 6 weeks if I want to get this done before Vanguard, so I really need to see that support. But getting to the point of this video, it takes exactly 1,375,000 experience to go from a freshly started level 1 up to unlocking your first prestige. At the going rate of 250 XP per door, I will need to open exactly 5,486 doors to prestige without any kills, round change XP, or literally anything else that will.
Is this just pain, the video? Is this what I'm watching? This is literally just so much pain. I cannot believe a human being has tormented themselves to this. Like, I feel like I torment myself so much by forcing myself to do a lot of round 100s. But this is a whole other level of just actual pain. Oh my gosh. The BL3 Super Easter egg is 1 million XP, but he can't kill a zombie. So he can't do... And that's the other thing. You have to do all the other Easter eggs. You literally can't kill a zombie. So the only one technically you could do without killing a zombie would be Zetsubo. Someone can carry, that is true. That is actually very true. But then do you get XP when you don't actually kill? I don't know.
Give me XP besides doors. Along the way, I will unlock the calling cards for opening doors, which will award me a total of 4,500 XP. I literally can't avoid it. There's no way of getting around that, but in the grand scheme of things, that's really not much experience. So now that we know how many doors it's going to take, how are we actually going to get this done? Most maps have a door price of 750 points, so those are out of the question right away unless I want to risk killing zombies, but I really don't. That leads me to Shadows of Evil, where luckily the first door is only going to cost me 500 points.
Plus you have the Shadow Man,
but it would still take me over 5,000 games to complete this challenge if I was only going to open one door per game. This is where the big homie himself, the Shadow Man, comes into play and changes everything about this challenge for the better. For those of you that don't know, there's a character that appears in Shadows of Evil when you spawn in, and if you shoot him, then the game skips to round 5 and awards you 1,000 extra points. After waiting a few seconds, if you shoot him again, you'll skip to round 10, and then if you do it one more time, you'll skip to round 15 with a total of 16,500 points to your name.
How many games did he play? I'm thinking about this, like, dude, because I saw him tweet, he said, I hate Shadows of Evil. And he was like, bro, if I only had to get XP through buying doors on Shadows of Evil, I'd be so upset as well. I'd hate this map. That's why I feel like I'm hating Drak so much, because I've literally gamed that map so hard, bro. I get what this man is feeling. It's literal fatigue.
Unfortunately, you don't gain any XP from those rounds that you skipped, but now I do have a ton of points to go open doors. Once I left the spawn room, I always traveled the same path around the map. First, we headed to the Canal District, ran through it all in a
Wow.
loop, went to the Waterfront
So Canal,
District, ran a loop
Waterfront,
around there
and
as
then
well, and then
Footlight.
lastly went to the Footlight District. Along the way of doing that, I'm
Whoa.
ideally opening every door on the map and finishing the game by getting killed by a Margwa or the zombies. If everything went well in those games, I am opening 14 doors per match and gaining 3,500 XP. Again, remember that we need a total of almost
not double
1.4
XP as
million
well,
XP to prestige, so this is going to take a long ass time. I was actually playing this challenge multiple hours per day for 9 to 10 days, and to be honest, it was just filled with so much waiting. Because you don't realize how much time it actually takes to start up a game, sit through the intro cutscene on Shadows of Evil, play the game, and then sit through the forest animation after every game. On average, once I was loaded in, it would take 110 to 130 seconds for me to do everything and then die out. That I can...
Literally half of his games are loading. His playtime is literally actually half of his loading time. That's absolutely disgusting. This is why one of the things I absolutely loved about Infinite Warfare was that you could literally just skip the loading. I don't know why no other game had that, but Infinite Warfare, you could just skip right into the map. You could just skip right out of it. It was just so awesome. I wish that was carried on, but like, dude, even in Cold War, when you load up into a map, takes forever. You get the loading screen, then you choose the class, and then you get the exfil cutscene, and then you're in, and then if you die, you have to exfil. It's just way too long. I agree.
Live with, and it's really not too bad, but on my old ass PS4, it takes 30 seconds to load in at least, and then another 20 seconds at the end of the game. So that's another 50 seconds added on per game that is just really unnecessary. But again, I was lucky though, and I was able to play maybe half of this challenge on my...
What would have happened if he would have just had one kill accidentally? Like, that would have been it. It would have been over. Bruh, chat. It's 20 seconds. Why do you care? Because imagine doing this over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's when it gets annoying.
PS5, which cut down the load times from the PS4 by about 70%, and that means more games per hour were being completed. But sometimes I was unlucky though, and I didn't shoot the Shadow Man in time, or just died to bad zombie spawns, so that brought up the number of games that I had to play by maybe 10 or 15 because of the XP that I missed out by not opening every single door. When you add all of that up, I probably played a little under 500 games at the rate of one game every 2.5 minutes when you bring it all together. 30 seconds for load times and 2 minutes average of play time. And all that led me to losing my fucking mind. I'm just gonna go off script here real quick. Like, right, I actually straight up lost my mind. There was so much playing. I know that my calling, you know, like my actual thing says that I only played 17 hours, but that's 17 hours in-game at 2.5 minute intervals. I don't know if it counts the loading time or not, but still, that's even...
So if it's 17 hours, just take half of that and then add on top of that, and that's how actually long it took. Oh my gosh. So half of 17, that's like 8.5. So you're telling me he spent 26 hours on this? Bruh. F in the chat. 26 hours game time on Shadows of Evil, by the way.
Very small chunks at a time. So I just had to sit there over and over and over and over again, running the exact same route for literally hundreds of games, and I was losing my mind. And also keep in mind, this was literally only one prestige out of 12 that it takes to reach Prestige Master in Black Ops 3, and I had the added challenge of avoiding to kill any zombies or gaining XP from any source that was not a door.
Hold on. That means to do this whole thing, I think it would take him around 300 hours of just opening doors to get to Prestige Master. I would literally cry. Oh my gosh. 300 hours. That's absolutely disgusting.
Seriously, I'm a grown man, but I would have cried if I was 30 levels into this challenge and accidentally killed a zombie and wasted a week of my time.
That's what I'm saying.
And this is only going to get worse because, like I said in the intro, this is only part 1 to Prestige Master with no kills, but you're more insane than me if you think I'm only opening doors to do that whole thing. So a lot of the remainder of this challenge series will be done by playing with friends, going through public matches, or even just me spamming the few gobblegums that I have on my account to get through a few rounds. Chantel's also going to be helping me out throughout the course of the series and uploading stuff from it on her channel probably, so she'll be linked in the description if you want to go sub to her and maybe see a few of the prestiges over there. Anyway, so once we got close to completing the challenge, I was so tired, and this was probably about 2 a.m. at this point, and the last 5 levels I just busted all out with no breaks in between it to just get it done. To finish out level 35, it took me 16 games from the start of it, and for the last one, I wanted to do something a bit special. With only 250 XP left to finish out the prestige, I ended my game of Shadows of Evil, and up to this point, I had only played that map for every single one of the games, and just to trigger some people, I began a game of Dreisendracht to open up the last door there. But I ended up trolling myself because the points on Dreisendracht are 750 per door, and I really didn't want to risk killing a zombie right at the very end, and I had to end and go back to Shadows of Evil. I wanted to troll you guys, but ended up with my own dick in my ass. But lastly though, a game of Shadows of Evil was started, I bought the spawn door, and was finally able to say we finished an entire prestige by only opening doors and no kills on Black Ops 3 zombies. It was a bittersweet moment because I was finally done with this door challenge, but I know the suffering's only begun. With the Vanguard only 6 weeks away, I will need to complete a prestige every 4 days or so to finish this by then, and that is hard enough with being able to kill zombies, let alone not being able to and gaining XP at an incredibly slow rate. This is going to be one of the toughest challenges in zombies community history, and it's really going to test my will to just keep going. If you do appreciate that, I would appreciate a like. But you know who I appreciate? Our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Flawless Tricks and Mr. Scrubs.
Chat, Drake's in the chat. Seriously, how does somebody do this?
Fox, Mr.
Like,
Napoleon01.
I think once he gets gobblegums, it'll be a lot easier. But I think, like, man, like,